Hey, good morning. We're going to use this as a general introduction to several fly tying videos that are all going to feature these Magnum's original, what a name, Magnum's original dragon tail. These are UV2 and they come in a bunch of colors and a couple of sizes, and let me show you. Like here's a couple of the small ones. When I say small, whew, small ones aren't exactly small. There's a big one. Let me get a big gray one too. So in this introduction, let me tell you a few things about these tails. So we got a couple smalls and a couple larges. So here's let's make this video about how to use the Magnum tails. Does that work? Okay, I'm getting a nod from the background. Okay, so these are I fished these for black rockfish and lingcod, and don't be giving me the reaction that those fish will take anything. Well, they won't. In fact, on the day I fished them, they took these better than our clousers. They probably look like an irresistible worm. So these have a little skinny end front, and they tapered to a skinny end in the back. And it's made much like chenille. It's on a core. You can tie them in. Let me get a hook and a vise here. You can tie the whole thing in like that, or you can cut them or pull them apart and use shorter sections. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that. But the first thing is, don't tie them up at the front of the hook, because that makes it more likely that they're going to wrap, okay? Always tie them in quite towards the very rear, say behind the barb of the hook. So there's that. So in not the perfect order, this is a beautiful gray color. But what could you do to improve that? Well, you could take a Copic marker or just a Sharpie, and you could put some spots on it. Why would you do that? Well, I think it enhances it doesn't, who knows? I don't know. I was going to say it enhances the appearance of motion, but that's nonsense because these things just wiggle like crazy. I just think it's a cool effect to do. And I haven't done this particularly well. Some people will stripe them. They'll do a stripe all the way around. Here is a UV2 dragon tail. It was chartreuse. I used blue on top, so it's kind of a bluish chartreuse on top and a regular chartreuse on the belly. I think that's kind of a cool effect. So the point is, ooh, what's this? A few stripes on the tail. So, and you know those are going to wiggle. Come on, wiggle for me. So the point is, you can dress these up and even enhance the color. Now let me show you how I would trim these and secure them, and maybe I'll go ahead and tie a fly here. So from this point on, let's consider this a fly. Who knows how we'll use that? Boy, am I disorganized this morning. I got stuff all over. I don't know where my scissors are. Here's a pair of scissors. So I'm all the way to the back. This is an SC17, and I'm going to tie, I know what I'm going to tie. Tie black and red tarpon streamer. So here's my whole tail. Tarpon certainly got a big enough mouth to eat this whole thing. But I'm going to make it about that long. Now I've watched some people kind of tear these apart. What I prefer is to cut them, and I'm kind of pinching this tight. I'm not going to allow it to come unraveled. So I'm still pinching this part nice and tight. And now I'm going to get a hold of the thread core, still pinching it tight, and I'm going to tie in the thread core. But here's the really important part. While I'm holding tension on this, I'm wrapping back over the material. So there's no way this can come unraveled. So there you have it, and you see how far back on the shank I am. There's little chance that this could come loose, get fouled. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to put on a black brush. Where's my black brush? Somewhere. Here we go. This is a craft fur brush. And now, I could wrap that brush all the way to the forward part of this hook. I don't want to do that. This fly has got so much motion. It's got plenty of substance to it, but I want to create a little bit of flowiness here. And as I probably said, EP craft fur brush. This is black on black. They have black on purple. Pretty cool. This is a 2-aught SC17. Have no idea if I said that already. If not, I'm saying it now. So, looks pretty nice. Now, could I get by with 2 turns instead of whatever I've done here? Sure. Sure could. A lot of these tarpon flies don't have a lot of flash in them. I've never fished these fish tarpon. I've tied quite a few flies that my friends have used and caught tarpon on, and they tell me they want them with less flash rather than more. And this craft fur brush has just a little bit of flash in it. So this is going to be, the theme here is black and red. So the way I'm going to get the red, there are different ways. I could spin on a hackle, but I'm going to use EP 3D fibers in red. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting these in little short pieces. Don't want much bulk, and I don't really want to have to trim these afterwards. So I'm gonna, as I put these on, what you see is about what you're gonna get. So I want some rough ends there. So I'm gonna put this on, kind of roll it over the hook. It's not as nice as it would be if it was deer hair. And then I'm gonna spread it around a little bit and wind it right back. If you see, because I kept that bundle kind of on the short side, it's just about the length that I would like it to be. I could say it's exactly the length I'd like it to be, and that's about right. Now this piece is a little bit short where I tie it on, but the other end is just right, so it's actually a little bit long, so the net effect is just right. And I'm spinning this around a little bit. I didn't get all the fibers trapped at first, so I'm going to try to get them now. So I'm just kind of working my way around. Now having the red facing on these flies is kind of traditional. My understanding is that these are not strictly imitating a particular food source, but they swim nicely. The traditional tarpon fly is tied with EP fiber or black hackle. See, I said I wasn't going to trim these, but I figure I actually going to need to because some of them are too long. What I'm trying to do here when I'm trimming is not trim off the craft fur brush. Anyway, there are a number of these tarpon flies, color themes that have been effective. Yellow and red, black and red, chartreuse and white, purple and black. So the point is, these are effective color combinations. Oh, they use tan ones too. Tan's great. So I think that's just about right. Now, what I want to do, however, I was using a clear mono thread there. I like tying with mono thread. But I would like to have a nice, I want to, what do I want to do? Sometimes tarpon flies will end their thread right here and have bare hook shank. I want to cover this, the return on the eye, so I'm going to cover the forefront of the shank, hopefully with a nice taper. This is another style of finishing a tarpon fly. And this, traditionally, they would use probably several coats of varnish, or pardon me, epoxy, or nothing at all, depending on what was available at the time. But I'm using a thin UV resin. It gives it a real nice clean finish. Now I want to do a little bit more brushing here, and I'm gonna, you wouldn't have to, but I'm gonna put some eyes on this fly because I think it makes them look really nice. Now the trick is to try to show you how to do this. I'm going to take my eyes and I'm going to take two off and I'm going to lay them down on the desk. Lay them right down there on the bench. Here comes the second one. I used to have a lot of trouble, and good Lord, I'll probably repeat myself many times on this. I'd put some super glue on the fly, or I'd put some super glue on usually on my fingers. What I do now is use some gel, not too much. Then what I'm doing is just dabbing it on the eye. Tighten my vise just a little bit. I'm going to pick this up and place it and just pull out the bodkin. And that's a pretty nice way to go about doing it. Now, of course, I'm gonna do that again, and I'm gonna try to get the second eye on right opposite the first one. And that's always tight. It helps if you tie a lot of these at one time, because then you know, you get better at it. But let's try this. Place it on there. Now at this point I want to clean off my bodkin so I can use it again. So how'd I do? Oh, amazingly well. Now I'm going to press down a little bit, not too much. And the reason I don't want to press down too much is that same reason that I didn't put too much super glue on there. If you put too much, yeah, they'll stick better. But when you squeeze them on, the glue will come around the edges, and when you get the super glue on the outside of these eyes, instead of being nice and shiny, they get real dull. And the fish will still bite them, but they don't look as cool. So, got the eyes on, I got my black dragon tail. I'm gonna trim a couple more hairs here. I think we've got ourselves a really nice tarpon fly. Let me pull it out of vise. That is just going to wiggle and flow. If you wanted to, you can make the tail shorter. If you make the tail this short, it's not going to wiggle very much. I think you're better. This is a really nice length of tail. It gives you a lot of wiggle. You strip it, and this thing just looks crazy. Okay, there you go. Hope you have fun with this. Remember, this won't just catch tarpon. Thank you.